My name is Brian Howard. My mom was Caroline Howard, and she'd worked with HeartShare for 30 plus years with various foster children that have been through my house over the years. I wound up with 3 adopted brothers that were all foster children that never left my house. But it was Jonathan that stole her heart. They were inseparable, pretty much. My mom brought him in, he was probably about 6 or 7 months old when he came into our house. And from that point on, up until the day she died, they were pretty much attached at the hip.
So Jonathan was first introduced to us at about the age of 7 or 8 months old in our early intervention program. And Jonathan really progressed nicely in the early intervention program, but still needed some assistance. So he stayed with us through his preschool years between the ages of 3 and 5.
Jonathan's been a handful from day one. Even with his autism, he's been very outspoken, and HeartShare over the years has actually been there hand in hand working with him, and they've gotten him to where he's actually a happy adult now. My mom had tried transitioning Jonathan into a couple of public schools, but every time that he was in a school, there would be either an educational goal problem or a behavioral problem, and they didn't want to deal with it. They kept pushing him to the side, ignoring him, ignoring all of my mother's pleas for help. After everything, Jonathan ended up at the HeartShare school, and that's where everything began to take shape. That's where they regained his focus and started teaching him, and they got through to him where nobody else had.
And you, that's right. So Mrs. Howard came to my office in 2007 to tell me that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She wanted Jonathan placed in a residential program because she thought that there might be a possibility that her treatments would not be effective. So we had just opened the children's residential program, and it was her wish to have Jonathan continue with HeartShare, where he started at infancy. And although Mrs. Howard started the process about 2 or 3 times, she always wound up hesitating in the end because she felt that she'd be giving up on herself.
In 2012, my mother passed away. Basically, Jonathan would have wound up back as a ward of the state had I not stepped up, because my father wanted nothing to do with him.
So I reached out to Brian, his brother, and Brian said, "I'll do it." I said, "Okay, meet me at the family court Monday morning, 8 o'clock. And we met, and we sat there for a good 6, 7 hours that day. But Brian went through the process, and he became Jonathan's legal guardian. And I think that day I heard a bell ring because an angel got their wings. That was his mom's wish, to have Jonathan placed, and Brian did it.
I became his guardian because pretty much that was my mother's dying last wish. She wanted him in the hands of somebody that wouldn't let anything happen to him. I had no hesitations placing Jonathan in the HeartShare residence. Jonathan's goal the last few years has been to live independently. We're hoping he's going to fit into the adult residence that HeartShare is looking to open in Staten Island at the present time. My mom would be smiling right now, knowing that Jonathan's been taken care of all of these years, and that he's happy and that he's thriving.